Hi, this video is about how I built a consistently successful client SEO business. Basically, how I built a business to where I've made over $10,000 per month, pretty much every single month for the last 6 or more years. And it's a very streamlined business. And typically I make between $20,000 and $30,000 per month with client SEO. And it's based upon some simple fundamentals, but I think it's a lot of there's a lot of things that get ignored by other people, and I think they focus, to me, on the wrong things and inefficient things. But there's different ways that you can go about doing this, and I'm going to talk about in this video how I went about building it, and I think it'll give you some ideas on how you can focus on doing this as well, because it is a very good business model. It's a very reasonable business model for the long term. People are always going to be searching the internet for the rest of our lives and well into the future, and as a result there's always going to be companies that need help implementing this themselves, because this is not an easy thing to understand. So really what I would say is kind of your first decision is to choose one. Either choose to become a big agency or to be a streamlined consultant. And these are two pretty divergent paths. And I think most people look at the big agency. That's what most of the competitors that I compete directly with are big agencies. And there are some pros to this, and I think this is what most people think, because they make bigger money, but their profit margins are much lower, and also it's less of a lifestyle decision and more like you're creating this big company and you become more of a manager and less of an SEO consultant. I've chosen the streamlined consultant path, which is, I'm not saying that is the right choice for everyone. I think it's right for me. I have a lot more autonomy throughout the day. I'm not managing, I'm less of a manager. While they do manage a lot of like long-term contractors, I'm more of someone who does SEO and practices SEO and gets to essentially be an SEO geek all day, every day. So that's the path I like, and I've got this nice streamlined, I think this is a Japanese bullet train. Do you want to be the big boss? And if so, maybe the big agencies is better for you. I know plenty of people who've done this, and I think there's a lot of money to be made with this. And I think it's definitely a good business plan. But you kind of have to, you can't go halfway. Maybe you can start with the streamlined consultant and move into the big agency, but when you're on a path, you can really only be on one path at a time. Versus sort of like an independent agent. And the thing here is that some companies are looking for the big agency, and some companies are looking for like a streamlined consultant that they think can provide a more custom experience. And so a lot of the competitors are big agencies, and so as a streamlined consultant, I'm different. And a lot of times that's all you need. They're looking at 5 different people and 4 of them look the same and one of them is me. It's going to be a lot easier, I think, to close those people on a lot of times. Not only that, but I get to choose. I have a lot more choice over what it is that I get to do. As opposed to with a big agency, you get more and more people in your company, and you lose some of the control. I mean, even if you're the owner, 100% owner, you still kind of lose some of the control you have over how things work, because now you have employees that you need to take care of, and they have their own opinions, and you're going to have to honor those opinions, and you're going to have to make some compromises. So again, I think that in the end, you can make more money with the big agency. If you look at this as like a 2 to 5 year plan, but with the streamlined consultant, you can create more of a lifestyle. That's my guess. Well, with the big agency, you're a little bit more bound, but there's probably a bit more upside. So there were really, and I didn't outline this really super early, at least explicitly, but I kind of knew in the back of my mind that this sort of approach was what was going to work for me, and I was correct. Number one, I focused on client SEO to the exclusion of other SEO business models. I really didn't do a whole lot of other things. I kind of dabbled very briefly, and very lightly in things like affiliate SEO, but I knew I made a conscious decision. Okay, I'm gonna figure out this client SEO thing, and no matter how long it takes. And it took me, with not a lot of help from other people, it took me a little less than a year, I think, to kind of figure out this plan, this focus that worked. and that involves these 4 principles. And I've got this nice like Buddhist retreat, I guess, because well, there is a lot of work to be done. At the same time, there's a big amount of understanding that's important here. And so the first principle and the most important one is SEO skill development. You need to focus on being the best SEO as possible, as that you can be. And now saying I'm going to be the best in the world, that's not really a reasonable thing, and it's not really something that can be, you can't really, there's no one who really can say I'm the best in SEO in the world. That doesn't really make sense, because there's multiple different ways to approach SEO, and it's not like someone has more skills than everyone else, and it's easily measurable. But what you can do is increase your understanding, and this is critical. And you do this by studying from people who know what they're doing, and who've done it before, and then also practicing. And this is really like the fundamental of any SEO business, and especially a client SEO business, is building your SEO skills, looking to understand through testing and studying how SEO really works, how to actually rank a website. And a lot of people, I think, spend a lot of time reading about SEO and reading these articles, and I don't spend a whole lot of time doing that, and I don't recommend you do as well, because a lot of the best information out there is not free, and one of the best ways to actually build your SEO skills is through practice and seeing what happens, and not through reading articles. And so that is something that should be a huge focus. In fact, if that was for the first 6 months of your business, if all you did was build a bunch of test sites and buy a bunch of good information products from people who actually rank stuff, then you actually practice that and documented your actions, then you're well on your way to building any kind of SEO business, especially a client SEO business. With client SEO, you're probably looking at focusing a lot on like local SEO, which is a huge part of it. You're getting the maps SEO to rank. Okay, so the other principle, and this was the thing that I also identified pretty early. Again, I didn't have quite the same outline that's very simple that I'm showing you here, which is what I called theta development, which is sort of which is essentially my Dallas SEO Geek site, the site that I use to attract my target market through search. Okay, and what this is an extremely valuable asset to my business, and it can be to anybody else if you have people, you find enough people online that are searching for blank SEO, and like you can do sort of like niche SEO or city SEO, kind of like location SEO. Those are kind of the 2 most common ways to do that. And I have a whole thing on kind of the pros and cons of that. But this is what I worked on, and what was beautiful about this was I recognized that by working on this, it built my SEO skills, because it was a case study that I could basically throw everything at and see what happened. And also it helped with the next principle, which was sales development. So by ranking number 1 for Dallas SEO, for example, when people came to me, they're like, yeah, I saw you ranking number 1. So, I mean, that like the sale was a much easier, not that it was like, okay, now here's $50,000, but at the same time, it really made the process a lot better. And as opposed to coming to somebody and being like, hey, number 1, convincing them of SEO, that SEO can be beneficial, which they've already convinced themselves of because they're searching for SEO. But then also convince them that you are able to do SEO, which I have given them one example of me ranking for an actual SEO a search phrase that's competitive. And so by working on this, I'm actually working on the first 3 most important principles. And then service development. Now this becomes very important. Initially it's not important because you don't have clients, but once you have clients, it becomes very important because you need to, first of all, it helps build your SEO skill development. It kind of circles back around. By working on client projects, actually becomes testing in data on understanding SEO. And after working on many projects over the years, it has really helped my understanding of SEO. but then it can help build your theta, your brand, and it can help build your sales by working on this. So these all work together, and by focusing on just these 4 things, on building your SEO skills, building your SEO attraction site, and building your sales skills, which also isn't just about the theta, but it's also about kind of studying sales and understanding how to present an offer to someone in a way that makes to show them the true value to where they're interested, and then building your kind of your systems for servicing those clients. Those are, if that's all you focused on, then you're going to be building a business. Now, it's not an overnight process. It's not the process that a lot of people go about, where they go, let's say, cold calling, or they do direct mail, or they do Facebook ads to try to get the clients in the door as fast as possible. So this is not necessarily the fastest way, but it is a very reliable way, and it's also a long-term way where like I don't spend that over the last, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years, I have not spent a ton of time on this right here, but it has continued to provide me with incoming, highly qualified, pre-sold leads through my sales funnel. All right. And so when I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Dallas SEO Geek. You can see here Dallas SEO, a big search phrase, and I rank number 1 in the maps. I think in the regular organic, I go between number 2 and number 3, and that's fine with me. I've been number 1, top 3 for several years now, and so this has been a huge part of my business. And as I talked about, it really helps with the other principles. So if you want to learn more, I do have an information product that goes much deeper into this, along with a community that really is a small, tight-knit community of people looking to build their client SEO businesses, and it's called the SEO Client Attraction System. And I'll put a link to some more information below, along with the best price for it. Yes, it is a paid course, but there's a ton of information in there, and you can pause the video and look at Doug's testimonial here. There's quite a few other people who have gone through it and been very happy and very excited to implement and gotten some success. So here he says at 10 times the price of David's course. That he's seen other courses that weren't as good as mine, and mine comes with a very focused approach. Not only that, but it's based upon what I've really done. It's not based upon theory. It's not based upon what I think should be correct. It's based upon what I have actually done and what I have actually implemented in my business to make for a pretty good life for myself. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, like it and subscribe. And if you didn't, or you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I will respond. And have a great day. Bye.